All right, we're going to shoot and review this Galloway turnkey carry kit. I got it installed here on my PT-111 G2. They also make this not only for other manufacturers and other firearms, but not only the Millennium Pro PT-111 G2 I have, this old school version, but the G2, the G2C, they make them for the G3, the G3C, so any variant of this Taurus G series, they make this turnkey carry kit for, I believe. But this one specifically is my PT-111 Millennium G2. It's the old one that started it all. Already got the parts installed except for their grips here. I previously have these installed in a video on my Ruger Max 9 because I had an issue with that thing wanting to like slip and slide in my hand. So I do have previous experience with these. These things are awesome. I just did not have time last night to get them put on before I come out for the review today, because that trigger took quite a while to get installed, and that's no fault by them. That's just the design of the gun. Taurus's own design it's interesting to say the least. I installed one of their triggers in my Max 9, and that went much smoother. It took me about an hour to get the old one out and the new one in and all that. And so yeah, I was up all night doing the trigger. So we already have their trigger installed there, and I also have their 18-pound stainless guide rod and spring installed in here. You can see it there below the barrel. The factory unit would be black, so you can see the stainless button there. Let me get this thing pulled back and show you. Sorry about the lighting, guys, but there's their spring there. Here's the factory one. So as you can see, stainless steel, plus it eliminates all these plastic pieces. And the factory one is a 16-pound. Theirs is an 18-pound. So not only is that going to help a little bit if you run plus P ammunition, but even standard pressure ammunition, it's going to cycle no problem whatsoever. But it's going to help reduce recoil because the slide isn't so floppy. It comes back much quicker, and so it just basically keeps the gun from flopping around and helps it shoot a lot flatter. Like I said, I installed their stuff on my Max 9. I was blown away by the change in performance. So even if you're not shooting standard pressure, that's still an upgrade to go to that 18-pound spring there. It's going to help a lot with recoil and target acquisition, just getting your sights reset a lot quicker. But there you can see it's installed. Now here's the factory trigger. Still retains the single action, double action feature of these pistols. Still retains the trigger safety blade, as you can see there. I've already tested it out. Everything works. Safety works. The trigger safety works. The manual safety works. Double action works. Single action works. But here's your factory trigger. Their trigger reduces take up by 20%. And I gotta say, I have noticed, I'll kind of show you, I can't do a back and forth like I did previously with the Max 9, because like I said, this trigger took me about an hour to get in and out. So I had wanted to do it at the range and do like a before and after, but due to the complexity of getting this trigger in and out of here, that's just not something I'm able to do at the range. Not to mention I'll probably lose little screws and springs. I almost did at the house. But I can tell you, it definitely does reduce take up, and not only single action but double action. But on top of reducing the take up, all that trigger floppiness that these guns have, you get a nice flat face trigger there. Not only straight line flat face from the side, but it's also flat all the way across the face. Whereas the factory one, it's got curved edges on it. So to me, that gives a better trigger feel too, on top of it reducing take up by 20%, whether you're in single action or double action. Now this was not part of their turnkey carry kit, but they were nice, and at my request, they sent me this Opticsplate Mount. So I appreciate them sending that out as well, and I'll have a quick review on this coming up as well. Like I said, I wish I could do a before and after for you like I did with the Max 9, but with the complexity of getting that trigger in and out of there, it's just not really feasible to do here at the range, especially with me out here sweating under this hot sun right now. But I can tell you, I've never really shot this thing that well. I've always wished to be able to improve it. Not very good with this pistol for some reason, so I'm hoping that recoil spring and guide rod there is going to help me out in this flat face trigger and whatnot. And like I said, part of that turnkey carry kit is these better grips too. I don't think I've ever really had an issue with the grips on this, but that'll certainly improve the grip if you personally are having the issue. And I do plan to install these, but like I said, I ran out of time last night getting that trigger in there. So, but that is part of their turnkey carry kit. But my complaint was never with the grip. It was on my Max 9, and those solved it. But just the fact that I never really shot this thing this well. So I'm hoping and anticipating that 18-pound spring and guide rod in there and this flat face trigger with shorter take up and whatnot, it's going to help improve it. Regardless, I'm sure it's going to feel much better than the factory setup. So while I can't do a side-by-side before and after here today, I will be able to tell you if there's an improvement. Just, you know, I've shot this gun a lot, so I know what it feels like. So I'll be able to tell you if there's an improvement or not. Not only the way it feels, which the trigger already feels so much better to me than that factory trigger, but also judging my performance out here based on what I know I've done in the past with it, because I've never really shot it that well. I'm going to start out here on the white gong, 7 yards, see where my point of aim is. Starting out with these, they're Underwood Extreme Defenders if this thing would focus. So I've had those loaded up for months without time to shoot them out. And then my second mag's been loaded up for months as well, actually probably longer. Got Hornady XTP in here. I'm going to run these first and then we'll switch over to FMJ, but I like to cycle through my carry ammo some, especially when it's been loaded up for months with the same stuff, just to check, you know, make sure it's still going to run reliably and all that, considering I do carry this sometimes. Okay, that looks pretty good. About center there. Maybe just a hair off to the right, but it's kind of hard to tell with that plate swing in there. But we should be good to go. I'm pretty sure those were plus P. Now I know these XTPs I'm switching to are plus P. Or it could just be because I was just shooting a 22, so obviously that's a huge step up there, but yeah, that's definitely a huge improvement. I have never shot that pistol that well. I didn't miss a single shot. That's usually the problem I have, and that was about 10 yards from where I was standing. Back here it's 15. Usually I'm missing like every third or fourth shot, and did not have that issue here. I'm going to try some. Stuff's blowing away. I'm going to try some back here at 15 yards. You know, again, that's 15 yards back there. Laser rangefinder confirmed. But you know, those little bowling pins and such back there, that's a headshot or smaller at 15 yards. So let's see if I can manage that now with this setup. All right, here we go from 15 yards. Hey, how about that? 15-yard headshots without a single miss. Some of those honestly smaller than headshots, especially that last little one. Oh, my shirt got caught on the draw there for a second, but it happens, especially in real life when, you know, if you ever actually have to draw your weapon, it's likely to happen. So yeah, I'm sold. Like I said, I never really shot this thing particularly well. If it's not demonetized from old YouTube rules and whatnot, I'll post a link in the description. Thanks for following gun. Of my original review video on this. I mean, I never like sucked with it, but I wasn't like as good as I wanted to be. You know, like I said, I didn't like these misses from 10, 15 yards that I couldn't seem to fix. And then also, like, my rapid fire wasn't the greatest, but as you can see here today, that's clearly not an issue. And I know that original review video is from several years back, so obviously I'm more experienced and whatnot now, but I do occasionally shoot this, like I said, because I do can still carry it. So I do come out here and practice with it every once in a while. Like I said, once I've had the mags loaded up for a few months. Really hope you could have heard me there. Jesus. I say this all the time, but the YouTubers that got their own place to shoot, extremely blessed. Hopefully you could have heard me because I was back there, but like when people are next to me, I got to literally stop talking. That's why I stopped there, because I just don't know, because the bang makes the mic can't pick up my voice when guns are going off. Where was I at? Anyways, I still shoot this occasionally every few months I'll bring it out and empty the mags out, and yeah, I'm just never that good with it, and that is not the issue here today. So that recoil spring and trigger upgrade there helped immensely. Again, Galloway sent me those if you want to check them out. And then, as I said, I'll have a short little review coming up on their Opticsplate here. If you want to see the previous videos of the stuff I put on the Max 9 and even my LCP Max, check out the parts, accessories, and optics playlist on the channel. I put all that kind of stuff in there. But thanks for watching, guys, and I hope to catch you on the next one.